All right, we're live. Mic check, mic check. Let's make sure everything's working real fast. Are you hearing me loud and clear back there, Doug? As you can hear or see, we got Professor Sauer in-house today. For those of you that are tuning in, we're doing a check real fast as we go live. We're in a new studio here, so we're doing awesome. Sound is up and running. So many of you guys are tuning in right now. We are in the new studio, the Sefcik Show here at Lever Dreams. And as many of you guys are seeing right now, we got Professor Sauer back in studio. He has been on the show before. And Professor, I don't know if you know this, but out of 73 shows, you were the third ranked show, like in terms of views that we had.
Wow.
So that's big. People love watching you. People love, hearing what you got to say. But you guys are seeing the new studio, and one of the first people I'd hit up was Professor Sauer. He's in town, as many of you know. He travels not just the country doing what he loves and is an expert at, but he travels countries, because he truly is one of the greatest, a true legend in the game of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But he's also just done so much in just mentorship and leadership to other people. It's not just in like the Jiu-Jitsu community of why he's so respected, but also just in terms of life overall, how he treats people. And as we were talking about earlier, Professor, you don't have to pretend who you are. You're just real with who you are. And isn't that really what we want to be at the end of the day, where we just want to be like our true selves and be able to like just get along with people and have to pretend to be something we're not. And that's what we see with you. But before we even get into conversation and start getting the wisdom and knowledge from Professor, as we always do with every show, we're going to pray in. And why not do another prayer? Right, Professor? Here we go. Father, just thank you for this show. Just thank you for having Professor here in studio, that him and his wife were able to get here safely today, and you're just guiding their travels. And, oh, man, so much Professor's done in so many of our lives, and we just thank you for this man and giving him the credibility, the wisdom, and the knowledge, and just even just the health still, Lord God, to do what he does and just be with the show today. Let those viewing in get what they need out of it today, and anything that they're struggling with back home or in their lives and health, whatever it may be, that you're there for them and their family. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's get this show rocking. Professor Sauer. And we were talking earlier, most people just say professor. It's easier. And man, is he respected. And like I said, the word legend, I don't use that, as you guys know, for really anybody, to be honest with you. But professor, I've known him now for so long. I've been belted up through all of jiu-jitsu, all the way up to black belt. And I'm going to show some pictures in a second. You know what I'm saying? How through the years. But you just heard me say about how he's traveling so much. So once I knew he was in town again, I had to say, Professor, we need you back on the show. And he's right now, correct me if I'm wrong, you're living in Georgia. What part of Georgia?
Savannah, Georgia, in Skidaway Island in Savannah, Georgia.
So what, out of all the places in the world you can live, Professor, right? Because you're traveling, you're visiting other places. This is what you've done for years. You've gotten to see where you love to be. Why Georgia?
Well, my wife, she was, we've been going through Hilton Head for the past 15 years. We go there, spend some time there, and it's a great place. And we always thought about how nice, how cool weather there, how nice Hilton Head. And about 4 years ago, we were there in vacation, and my wife had a meeting with a real estate agent. And I was like, wow, a real estate agent. And we started looking for some houses there. We just for curiosity and nothing serious about it. But we started to look for some houses. And next day, we went for a boat ride with some friends from Savannah. And the guy kind of started talking about, listen, I'm telling you what's the secret of, the best secrets places here in Savannah, Georgia. And he mentioned the names about Island of Hope, mentioned Tybee Island, and he mentioned Skidaway Island.
Interesting.
Well, I went back, me and my wife went back to Hilton Head. In the middle of the night, I received like something. Hey, Skidaway Island, house for sale. And I had to do some kind of podcast. So I have to record something for YouTube.
Got it.
And when I was in Savannah with my student there, his name is James Finizio, who runs a great school in Savannah.
Yep.
So when I was there in Savannah at James School, the microphone went bad. And we had to go out and go buy a new microphone. And I was in the car with James, and I got my phone and showed James, how far away this place here? And James said, Professor, just down the road, like 10 minutes. So he drove me there, and we found a guy who actually put a for sale sign on the ground. And I saw the house. It was incredible. I called my wife, and I told her, come over here, come check it out. She came with the kids. We fell in love. We went straight to the real estate office, and we put a offer on the house. And that was during the coronavirus time. So we got back in Virginia. We restore a house, a Victoria house built in 1901. We restored the house in 1 month. I have Miguel, one of my guys from a great guy. If you need construction, Miguel, good guy from One Spirit Martial Arts. He came in. He just completely gutted out, cleaned up everything. We sold the house in probably less than 10 days.
Wow.
For more than ask price. And after that, we just packed our stuff and basically we move.
Well, I know that we, miss you a lot more, especially the people that you've been so close with over the years in this DMV area, right? But we miss you, but we know you got to a place where you and your family are happier, more comfortable, especially with how much you travel. And that's actually one of the first questions I want to ask you is, do you like doing like seminars? Because you've done so many seminars in your life at this point, right? It's not like you just need to be at a set school, which you started with. And I saw that post you did the other day where you showed like the first school you opened and you talked about how you got over here, right? For 5 years, you were in like California, and then all of a sudden you opened up your first school in Utah, right?
Exactly.
And you were literally sleeping in places like,
I was
at the
sleeping
bottom
in
of
the
the
garage.
bottom, man. And then you open up, but now you're at this point in your life, years later, where you have, what last time I stopped counting, you had like 130, 140 just associate schools, like schools that were associated with you. It might be a lot higher than that now, but how far you have come. And how not just these schools that you're traveling to that are in the association, but even out of association where you travel all the time to do seminars now. Mm-hmm. Do you like doing these seminars like back to back to back, like going one place to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, and then like coming home for like a little break? Or do you like just spreading it out? Like, every once a week here or once every 2 weeks here, go back, blah, blah, blah. Like, what is your best scenario when it comes to doing seminars?
Well, what happened with me is, for the past 34 years, I've been doing seminars. And what happened is that I had to teach class every day. So Monday to Friday, I was teaching class. And I was doing seminars on the weekend. Wow. And I'd done this for almost, I don't even know, close to 30 years. And well, after what happened that when I moved to Savannah, and I don't have to teach class now every day like I was before. I was teaching class in 2 academies, and I was taught in multiple locations. So I never had a chance to teach during the week. But actually right now, I can teach seminars in a Monday, in a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday during the week. That does not interfere with the schedule of the academy. So does not, you don't have to take an extra day away from your family, on a Saturday or on a Sunday. So if you already come to school on a Monday and a Tuesday, I can just do a quick, and I'm doing only 2-hour seminar. We do a specific, like a little bit longer seminar. It's 4 hours, 2 sessions, but I break down in a way that people can understand more mechanic, is not so overwhelmed with information. And the bottom line, they leave the seminar not think about, Professor Sauer is incredible, he knows a lot of stuff. But whatever I do know, I pass it on. And what those things that I pass it on, what happens, that helps me tremendously come back to me. Because I'm the one who learned the most. When I'm kind of repeating and doing the feelings, and I bring in the partner. And what I do in seminars, I always open for questions. I don't go to seminar with a set schedule.
I like that.
So when you do something like this and you open yourself for questions, the most amazing question can show up there. And you have to be able to answer the question. And my advice for everybody who does seminars is before you answer any question, you try to look visually, try to make a visual assessment, what the position the guy is asking, what the problem it is. And you try to assess the mechanics the guy is doing over there. And after that, you actually try to physically see if your visual aspect, you be the same of your physical, of your muscle memory aspect. That way, that's why when I go to tournaments, I don't scream to people to do too much stuff. Because, when you scream somebody, hey, go ahead, do this, do that. Well, the other guys listen too, right?
Yes, sir.
So what I like to see the technique firstly visually, and after that, I want to see how my body is going to react without any reaction, basically pure muscle memory. And I combine both.
And I just love how, you always have, the best, most simplest answers. And I remember, when we were training at the last, black belt gathering that I was at, and you have black belts, high-level people there asking questions, and you still are just able to just break it down so simple where everyone's just like, You know what I'm saying? It's just
I
like,
trick
I
people.
love that. I love that. Hey guys, Professor will still put it on you. Don't even try. Don't even pretend like.
Hey, now I got 2 arms. Remember?
That's what I'm saying. You had the surgeries and got fixed too,
I have
right?
16 surgeries.
Oh my gosh.
16, and for 20 years, I'm one man with one arm. I couldn't use my right arm for 20 years, and the only way I use my right arm if I grab something, and when I hold something, whatever you go, my arm goes. But if I try to actually reach out, I couldn't do it. I couldn't actually do it. So I have to grab my left hand and feed the right hand. Okay, now we can move here somewhere. We can go together here.
Producer Doug's laughing back there, and I listen. I'm gonna be the peacemaker here. I would stop laughing. All right, now.
That was almost 20 years that I done that. And
Wow.
what happened is that the jiu-jitsu got better. I developed more sensibility by using one arm than before. So that's why today I always answer people. Jiu-jitsu is a great thing for you to understand. You have to understand jiu-jitsu. It's a different story between do jiu-jitsu and practice and do the moves and understand. The understanding mechanic, you save more energy, you hitchhike better, and you kind of premeditate things better.
Wow.
Now, when you don't understand, you react with the action. The guy does this, you do that. The guy hold here, hold there. Is everything's kind of counter-reacting there. But when you understand, you start setting up traps. You start setting up little things. Sometimes a little tweak in your hips, sometimes a little tweak in your elbow. Create a complete different diversion where the guy feels kind of a little bit off and he has to do something different. And the key of jiu-jitsu is to have the guy hold the guy with almost like a gentle, like a baby, to allow the guy to move. Because when you start moving, what happens that the limbs get forgotten. So you can capitalize on limbs. Now, if you tight the guy if you put a lot of pressure on the guy, he's gonna defend everything very tight.
Right.
So everything that you have to dig so powerful, everything requires so much muscle. So when you start carrying jiu-jitsu more with understanding, you require less muscle, and you have you're way more effective when you do jiu-jitsu that way. And the most important, Kyle, and everybody else to listen, is that if you understand jiu-jitsu the early stage, you are going to be doing jiu-jitsu for the rest of your life. If you don't understand jiu-jitsu in the early stage, you are going to come to the point, I'm sure some people already got there, that you have to stop. You cannot continue training anymore.
Wow.
Because you reach some kind of plateau, and what happened that instead you that understand the mechanic, you're still evolving, you got stuck with your habits back there. You got stuck with all the ABC, the 1, 2, 3 that you're already doing. Well, what happened is when the people on the school start to graduate, start getting better, they figured out your game now, and because you're very stiff, very powerful, you're not like a noodle.
Right.
So that means somebody can grab you and he can actually manipulate you. Now, when you're noodle, he manipulates only a hand, only an arm, and the rest of your body doesn't move.
Good point.
And everything's relaxed, and this allowed you to stay on the mat for the rest of your life. That's what I learned with Helio Gracie.
And I love how you also brought up how like you were able to get better even with an injury.
Yep.
And that's something we can work around in jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of people that get injuries all the time. It's going to happen in the art of jiu-jitsu. We're training in truly combatives in the realest way. And as you know, we grapple, and it's not just technique. Sometimes we put it on a little bit and we're going to get our little bumps and bruises, and sometimes, unfortunately, some other things, right, that might even require surgery. But even with that, you're able to work and get almost like sharp. What I found, like with my one knee surgery that I had, I was able to sharpen all the tools around it. So when I got back with that knee, I felt like I was like powered up. Like a superpower came on, because now it's like I'm full again. Does that make sense to you?
Now you got a full body.
You got a full body. So what do you say to the people who get injured in jiu-jitsu? You know, because we see a lot of people just get injured one time and they're gone.
Don't do that. Don't you ever quit. If you quit, the return is going to be 10 times worse. Just keep in mind that anytime you quit jiu-jitsu, the other guys didn't quit.
Correct.
So when you come back now, you're going to find sharper. Everybody now is way more sharp now. And you now came back from an injury, so you took a few months off, so you have to kind of crawl back again slowly. But what happened that your muscle memory is making you push hard. But your gas is not going to be there, your precision is not going to be there, and you quite often going to be hurt again. So that's the time that when you come back for jiu-jitsu, that's the time you're the most danger for the second time injuries. So my advice for everybody here, even when you're injured, if you hurt your arm, come to the class, tight your arm somewhere, and just do moves with your legs. Just play guard.
Just for some technique.
You know, keep familiar, keep it playful, keep yourself acclimated with jiu-jitsu. That way, even your injuries kind of restricting you in some kind of movement, Well, you sharpen all the tricks, all the balance of your
Yes.
body. You learn how to use less effort because now you only have maybe one arm.
Yeah.
No, let's imagine if you got one leg.
Yep.
One thing that is pretty hard to do is lower back. That's one of the most difficult things to come back in jiu-jitsu. And I want to give advice for everybody here.
Please.
The lower back is normally they come with people attempt arm bars, triangles, and be kind of folded like a crunch.
Yep.
When people space in your guard,
Yep.
those are the time that you get hurt the most. And right after that is the twist.
Got it.
So imagine if you get folded like this
Yep.
and you try to throw your legs and twist.
And that's usually when you have the arm bar or triangle and they're stacking you, right?
They're
That's what you're referring to. They're
stacking, so,
stacking
yeah.
all that weight's on your spine.
Yep. And you decide to try to escape from the stack. Well, what happens is for you to escape, you have to put your air out. You have to kind of breathe out. Because if you breathe in, you just move like a robot.
Yes, sir.
When you breathe out, you're way more limp. Well, what happens that your ribs now, they're
Yep.
going to clamp.
Yep.
So when the ribs start clamping, so that's something that we have to learn how to understand. And it's very important for all the students, everybody who practice jiu-jitsu, learn how to save your body. Ask the old people got hurt in jiu-jitsu, ask them what they done it. How they, hey, if my rib is hurt, how can I do?
Yes.
If my lower back, what can I do? Oh, my shoulder. Oh, my knee. The way you can still coming back to class, you can still be active, you can still polish, and you never get rusty. Now you are going to understand jiu-jitsu because what happened is whatever God gives to you as a physicality, as a mobility, as a stamina, is you have to reduce that. And now you're ready to understand jiu-jitsu because you can overpower, you can maybe use a little bit extra power to
Yes.
force that. But because you're injured, let me hold this back a little bit, let me survive in this position a bit longer. And you start finding safe havens,
Nice.
safe areas.
Yes.
And that's the longevity for jiu-jitsu, man.
And you're able to, if it ever comes to the point where you're competing or in self-defense and really need to defend yourself, that's when you can turn it on, that power on. And that, you know what I'm saying? And like going off of what you just said, Professor, it's like if you can train not with using all your strength, not with using all this stuff, and truly still find the positions and the sweeps and the escapes and the submissions. Imagine once you turn it on. Isn't that how we're supposed to train? It's the people that go all crazy and gung-ho and wild. One, those are the people to quit the soonest, right? They like you said, they
First one to quit.
And they get injured.
And injure everybody else too.
Correct. And that ruins schools too.
And nobody
right?
wants to train with him.
No.
Now, sometimes you wonder, why are you the only one here not training? Well, how come nobody calling you? You should come to class and you have the whole school. Hey, I want to train with you. So hold on training for me. I want to train with that guy over there. You should have the whole school chasing you because you have finesse in your hands. You're gentle and you're efficient.
Wow,
you're
I like
effective.
that. Be that guy be that person that everybody wants to be partners with.
Everybody wants to be around you.
And those of you that have been training jiu-jitsu, the type of person that's the best to be. So be that person. It's kind of like out and about in life. Be that person that you would want, to be around.
Exactly.
Be that person.
And
So-
it's very
wow.
simple, Kai. You treat everybody with respect. You don't do to others what you don't want the others to do to you.
Right.
You treat everybody. You treat females with the ultimate respect. You teach younger, more younger people finesse. You cannot inflict pain on those young and the people that's still crawling. They're still learning.
Yes.
You cannot inflict too much pain because if you do inflict pain, only the tough ones are going to survive the environment.
Yeah.
The one they need the most, they're going to stop. They're going to quit. They cannot take that.
Got it.
But if you take the person and you kind of slowly, you kind of prepare this person, this is going to be your best student because he came from nothing and he climbed up the ladder. So he knows every single level, every single step of the way to get where he's at. So he's going to understand how to guide people. This happened with me, Kyle. When I was a kid, I was a little stick. I was 120 pounds when the first time I went to jiu-jitsu. I was stick. And I have to step in a school where Elio Grace was the main instructor. Now imagine all his kids there. Can you imagine face Rickson Grace every night in 120 pounds? So I have zero chance to do anything. But like I said, everything that I bring today was my personal experience that happened with me. I was able to eventually find a little breath, to take a little extra breath here. Hicks was on top of me. I turned my head this way and I got an extra breath here. Pretty soon I was breathing.
Yeah.
I was able to breathe more. And eventually, of course, Hickson tapped me every time we was training, we have a row, but it was not so easy no more. He had to kind of dig a little bit. On the beginning, it was like tap a little baby. So I advise every single person, come slowly, try to understand mechanic. Don't worry about win or lose. Actually, prefer to lose. Come to mat to lose. When you understand how to lose, you're going to understand precisely when your training partner lost his time to protect himself. Now he's in your hands because you understand on his shoes. That's the key of jiu-jitsu, man, is to understand what he can bring to you.
Professor, I'm gonna pull up a couple photos real fast. All right, so I'm gonna get the screen up here. Doug, we got the screen up there. So this picture's a throwback. This is my oldest son, Jace, who's now 9, Professor.
9 years old.
He's 9 years old.
I remember him.
And you know what? Professor said, hey, you know what? Your son is born. Get a gi on him. He starts training immediately. All right? So he popped out the womb. We took him straight to Professor. We just took him from the hospital straight there, got his gi on. And, Professor looking good as always, and had to get that picture. But it's just a good little throwback to.
That's so cool.
And I think he gave you a problem that day. I think he got mount on you, and you got a little frustrated.
He put 2 hands on my neck already.
See, that's what I'm saying. Hey, we're not going to get into that. Let's just say Professor did get upset. Okay. And then, Professor, this is 12 and a half years ago when I first opened MMA in sport. I've now had that gym for over 12 years, man, and it's just been a blessing. But this is me as a purple belt, taking that risk. This is when I went pro in MMA, and I took it on a ride. And this is the first time you visited. You've been there quite a few times, but this was a good little throwback.
I do remember that.
Do on the show, I got much longer beard now, huh?
Yes, the beard got up a little bit. The hairline will get back a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's called out how it is. No restraints on this show, you guys. Professor's hitting me hard right now.
Hey, but that's part of
life.
It's life.
And then this was in Brazil. I've been there a few times, but this is definitely one of the times, Professor, my most important time I was there, and that's when you awarded me the black belt.
I do remember.
And that was a special time. You're training with all the other guys there, but I love this because we were staying, for those who don't know, Professor, and you can bring this up in a little bit because you have those awesome camps there.
Yes.
Where we're staying right behind us is like what would you call that? What is that called?
That would be the restaurant. That's where we eat.
That's where we eat. Yeah. But right in front of us is like this shelter where Professor's room was, and I got to stay in the room next to him. And right when you walk out of the room, so I'd wake up and I just walk out the bedroom door, and there were the mats.
That's it.
The mats
Huge
are right
mats.
there, right?
Yep.
Beautiful mats that are over or underhang, but it's like we're in Brazil, so it's not like there's like AC or heat, or maybe you upgraded it, but either way, it's like we didn't need any of that. It was just like very just raw living, and you come out, you have the mats, perfect for Brazilian people who love Brazilian jiu-jitsu and just want to live the dream. Listen to this dream, okay? You come out, you wake up, good morning, Professor, and then you walk onto the mats, right, where you're going to be able to train all day, and right off the mats are stairs right down to a pool.
Yep.
A beautiful pool. So it's hot out, you're getting training in, you can jump in the pool, get snacks. And this is the other thing I was talking about to Professor before the before the podcast today was, man, the fruit trees you have there, it's like eating ice cream.
Unbelievable.
So you're just eating just healthy stuff while we're there, and
you lose weight, huh?
And you lose weight, you get
come
cut
back
up,
skinny.
you feel strong, your skin gets tan.
Unbelievable.
Oh man, and then the waterfall out back of the building.
The best massage you're ever gonna get in your life.
Yes.
I have a brother who's a massage, and I told him, I'm so sorry, man. This waterfall here, man, you're going to get out of job, man.
Oh,
because this is one of the most incredible. It's like a 4-inch pipe that shoots water from 15 feet high.
Perfect.
And hits you hard and massage your whole body. And it's cold water.
What camp? I know you have one. I believe is it August, Ann?
We do August. This August we're going to do one. Is going to be a very small camp for this August. Normally we do January and August. We're going to kind of play with dates a little bit. Basically in Brazil, during the month of July, it was a very high season for vacation. So I used to have a bed and breakfast. The house over there used to be a hotel. So I just closed the hotel about 4 years ago. So now it's a private home back again, the way how it used to be before. So now I can set up camps anytime during the year. We can set up private camps. We have people who's sometimes I got guys from Charlottesville, great school over there in Charlottesville. If you guys are in Charlottesville, West Virginia, go visit those guys. Brent, Adam, got a great people over there.
Of course, I know them.
Yeah, great dudes. And we do private camps. So basically they take 15, 20 guys anytime during the year. Tell them which month you want to do. For me, it's like a vacation. I go back there. I'm at home. My wife comes with me. She's always behind there, help me out. We have a great time. We do the camp. And in between the camps, the beginning, we do some sightseeing, we do the camp, and on the end we do some other sightseeing.
Yep.
So we can enjoy Brazil. It is great paradise. We have a great meals. We have a good cook. We have Bauru. That's one of my friends he's been doing like
met him a couple times.
By the way, I want to say thank you for a lot of guys here who donate money for Bauru's operation.
Wow.
We collect close to $3,000 for his operation. Our goal is to get close to 10.
Yep.
And but anyway, I'm gonna help out with the rest. But Bauru is a friend of mine that actually is the first guy who introduced me to jiu-jitsu.
And he's still right by your side. every
He's
time
still
you're
right by
there.
my side. So he lives in my house right now. He's a caretaker, and he walks on a cane every day. So I want to make sure he get his hips done.
Absolutely.
So we're getting ready to set up a date. But I think Bauru is scared of doctors.
Oh,
So I gotta
yeah,
walk
I can
him.
see
Gotta
that.
grab him. Even though he's a Brazilian Shrek, I think he's scared of doctors.
Oh man, what? Okay. You triggered something. Where can people find out more of the dates for your upcoming camps and seminars?
We have a new website now. Our
That's
website,
right.
we lost our website for a few months. We had a little technical problems, and so we stay out of the air with website and emails for like 4 or 5 months. Now the website is back,
Nice.
and we start download videos. We are in the process now. I have about 30 years of videos of myself in America traveling in every seminar. I always let people record. I never told somebody, no, you cannot record it,
I know that.
right? But I always ask, give me a copy,
Yep.
send me a copy. So I have a collection of thousands of hours of seminars and class and things that we do. And now we're in a process now to start putting in the website.
I that's one thing I've always just loved about your professor is like you never said like no, you never like come off as a way like no, you can't like film me like yeah, people are paying money like you've always said spread jujitsu, spread love jujitsu. I remember like when I was branching off to do like training at other spots. I was like always trying to be respectful to you, and I'm like, professor, I'm going to be training over there, and I'm going to be teaching at here and here, and you would always say, Kyle, spread jujitsu, spread our jujitsu.
We gotta spread
just
it.
hours, just spread it out.
You
It's
gotta
for
spread.
everybody.
Yep.
Don't try to be. We know how like either gym owners or associations get when it's like, no, don't go out there. Think about who these people are and who they become. Right? It's not how it should be. You've always been very open with that and just loving and just like I've really always loved that about you. I'm gonna bring up another picture. I know you have many of these, but here's another special picture for the
That's
audience
me,
to see.
professor. Look at that.
Yeah,
That was in Atlanta,
Grandmaster Helio Gracie.
2005. That's when we spar.
Yep.
He's a 92 years old over there. You see his finger in his head over
Yeah, I
there?
see it.
And he had something in his arm too. He was bleeding
Oh
when
man,
he trained with me.
you did that to him.
No, well, actually, he said I was too strong. I was training too hard.
I don't even know what he did to you after that.
Well, he choked me.
Yeah.
He put a choke on me, and I let his hand slide. He called me really bad names there because he wants to win flat out.
He was whispering it in your ears. Now you're saying it out loud.
Let me
probably.
have him.
What's one thing you could tell the jiu-jitsu community that you remember most about Grandmaster?
Oh man, he changed my life. He changed my life. I was a kid, a young kid, troublemaker, and as a young kid, I thought I was crazy. I used to hear. I grew up in a family with a lot of brothers and sisters, and my mom used to have several employees that used to work in the house, about 6. And I used to hear between the walls, between the doors, oh, Pedro's crazy. Oh, Pedro did this. Oh, Pedro did that. Something show up, broke. Oh, I bet oh, Pedro he did. So everything that happened in the house was me. And I was pretty hyper. I was super hyper. I was a troublemaker. Never been disrespectful, but I could not stop still. I was major ADD. So I took every kind of medicine you can possibly imagine. I done mental hospitals. I done electrical shocks. You name it. I done it all. And what happened is when my mom she find out that I was doing jiu-jitsu with Helio Gracie, my mom, she went crazy. She was like, what? That's the last thing my son needs.
Wow.
My son is ready aggressive as it is. He's going to learn Gracie. I heard about Helio Gracie stuff. He fought to Maracanã. So my mom knew something about that. She didn't like it at all. Well, my mom being a very active lady, she went behind my back. She went to Gracie Academy in downtown Rio de Janeiro, went to 18 storage high floor where Helio Gracie was, and she went there to have a meeting with Helio. And she told Helio, my son cannot do jiu-jitsu. My son he got some unbalanced stuff. And Helio, the response that Helio gave to my mom was this: Miriam, if I give Pedro $100 bill, you think he put it in his pocket or he will eat it? And my mom said, well, he's going to put in his pocket. Miriam, if you put in his pocket, I'm going to fix him. That's what he told my mom. And they left. My mom left. Never told me. She didn't tell me. She told me later. Well, I was training with Helio, Grandmaster Helio one time. We trained all the time. I spent 15 years there in his school. So I was the Yuki of Helio. For 99% of the time, I was his Yuki.
Wow.
So I got a chance to feel Jiu-Jitsu 101 all the time.
Incredible.
Well, I was training with Helio. I was probably 15 years old. Helio was maybe 60. He passed my guard like a butter, crossbody, mount, and I could not budget the old man. He was in the mount position, and I was freaking out. Push, elbow escape, here and there. When he felt that I was completely exhausted, he looked at me and said, oh, you think you're crazy? And I kind of look at him, made eye contact. Imagine from the bottom, you exhaust. Now you make eye contact with your instructor. Hey, you think you're crazy? You can trick your parents, oh son of a, and call me some really bad names. You can trick your parents, but you don't trick me. Can you believe that day on, all my craziness, all my theater, my movies, all went down to the drain.
All the drama.
All the drama, just gone. Because what happened is I was a smart guy. I just pretended what I was doing. And after that, after Helio, I was like, oh my gosh, how many people I'm not going to be able to trick? Because that's the first guy. So, and I was 15. How many people from now on I'm not going to be able to trick? And of course, doing jiu-jitsu every day, and Helio was kind of twisting me every day. Pretty soon I discovered that I was not crazy at all. I was just maybe too smart for my age. I was too early for my age. You know, ADD, or you name it. Back at the time, you used to call us crazy. You know, they didn't have medicines and treatments.
Just what? Let's go right off of what you just said. There's medicines and treatments for all these things prescribed to all these kids and all these adults. And it's like, if you have not done jiu-jitsu yet, stop wasting your time and health on other things and go do jiu-jitsu. Try jiu-jitsu. Come to MMA and Sport, try a free class. Anything, any gym associated with Professor Sauer, I guarantee if you go in and say, I'd like to try a free class, they'll let you. And go see what this jiu-jitsu is all about and see why it's truly going to be the best thing you could put your child into or yourself into. To fix to truly fix certain issues you've had or not. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's like you truly want to get in the best shape of your life. Maybe you want to truly know how to defend yourself. Like a real martial art, the most practical, best martial art to defend yourself, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. To deal with some other, you kind of mentioned like how you had an issue with like certain like craziness or anger, right? Certain things like that. And how all of a sudden, boom, things change real fast. If this triggers with you, if you're listening right now, maybe you're a parent or maybe you're somebody and you're like, man, I've tried all this other stuff. Maybe I should try jiu-jitsu. Oh, man, how good you're going to leave after a good class because, one, you're focused on learning real technique. At the same time, you're getting in shape. At the same time, you're just making new friends and being around other people that really want to improve with you and keep you safe, but also you're just getting stronger and better and doing some awesome hand-to-hand combatives for real. And you're learning a true art. It is an art. It is a true art. So those of you listening in and you have not jumped into jiu-jitsu yet, please try it out or contact us and let us know how hey, Kyle, I'm not from your area. Is there a school? And we're going to look it up. You can go to the new website and see all the different associations and all the people that are associated with Professor Sauer and see these schools that we're talking about. So, Professor, we were talking earlier and you said, hey, we were talking outside. And we were talking about how we're seeing like growth in certain things in gyms. One of them being how popular like the women's classes are getting. Mm-hmm. We have a program at MMA and Sport that you know of called Girl Power, and it's Tuesdays and Thursday nights for you viewers at 6 p.m. and it's only women. We actually give women the entire gym. Guys can't even go in during that time. We just want something special during that hour. Yep. And they wear some awesome uniforms, the pink and the black. MMA and Sport, Team Pedro, Sauer. They're rocking. They're looking good. They're feeling good, and they're getting the best shape of their life. They're having true fellowship and camaraderie with other women, and they're learning self-defense. What are you seeing? Let's just start with females, just in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Are you seeing this? Is this happening in other places as well?
It's happening, and it's going to start happening way more. And what's going to happen with the female is that they get so much benefit because we, as a guys, as a man, we kind of grow up by pushing each other. We play a little bit more harder. Girls, they're more delicate. They're more on the soft side. They're more girls. They are more gentle. Well, when they start doing jiu-jitsu, we put some kind of protection around them, where they feel now empowered. They feel comfortable, and the social improvement for female is the number one things that every female is going to take from jiu-jitsu. Socially, you're not going to be scared to go anywhere. You are going to be comfortable on your skin. Doesn't matter how you look, how you feel. You are going to be comfortable. You're going to accept yourself comfortable, and everybody's going to look at you. Is they going to feel like you're going to see a comfortable human being over there? You're not going to be scared. You're not going to be kind of shy. You're not going to be, if somebody tell that to you, oh, you got to lose some weight, you're not going to be mad. You're just going to be comfortable with everything that comes in front of you. You're going to be way more comfortable in your skin. And I'm going to tell the number one benefit we are going to take from jiu-jitsu is social skills benefit. And that's why we have to share mechanics all the time. We got to keep sharing. We got to keep teaching, because once in a while, we have a lot of females that they come to class, and they feel sometimes they go to a different gym, different academy. The instructor's kind of a little bit more rough, a little bit more tough. The gym sometimes is more towards like physicality. Hey, you represent me. You got to represent my name. You got to fight. You got to represent. When you have this kind of environment for females, this can be very, very scary, and it's not very practical, because unless the female is a super tough lady that's going to endure on those beatings that's going to happen the first year, she might be able to continue. But most of the people they have to stop. I when I was a kid, I remember watching people stop in Elio Gracie class. Imagine my class. If I used to go and bring my friends from the streets, hey, let's go, Grandmaster Elio over there teaching class. No, I'm not going there. So if people avoid Elio's class, imagine my class, imagine everybody else's class. So you have to make sure the class is very friendly.
Yeah.
You got to treat everybody with the ultimate respect.
Yeah.
The females, about touching females
Yeah.
in the jiu-jitsu environment, this is a no-no zone that I want everybody to think about. Hey, do you like somebody to touch your mama? How you feel about if your mom is over here on the mat and somebody treat your mom the way he would treat that girl? What about your daughter? What about if your daughter is on the mat? Do you like somebody to touch your daughter?
Right.
So the same respect that you want people to do towards your mom, towards your daughter, towards your wife, is the same respect you should do towards everybody else. And one thing that I tell everybody, Kyle, is that if you walk in a gym that you feel the place, you feel kind of uncomfortable to bring your 17 years old beautiful girl, beautiful daughter. You are a little bit uncomfortable to bring your wife that's very, very beautiful. If that place you feel uncomfortable to bring your daughter and your wife, might not be a place for you either. That's something that you got to think about. You have to surround yourself with people that are going to respect you to the ultimate. It has to be, respect is the number one thing.
100%.
We respect each other. Humans, we can do well no matter what we do in our lives, in religion, in anything we do, in politics, anything. If you respect things, if you treat people the way how you want to be treated, and vice versa, you can have a conversation. You can have totally. It's a growth. You can make a human being grow.
Treat your neighbor as you want to be treated.
Straight up, and it's that simple. It's not hard at all.
And Professor, I've been telling people, I've gotten a little taste. I've gotten a little taste the last 5 months of feeling a little bit like Professor. I've been able to travel to 31 different states, and I taught 33 seminars at these 31 states. But also I visited a total of 45 or 46 different gyms during this. And I was able to keep learning myself of what's successful in these gyms? How are they teaching this way? Why, you want to constantly learn, just as you continue to do, Professor. And what I've definitely seen, and now that I'm back and I'm teaching now full time again, right? I got that even more of love for jiu-jitsu now that I'm back. I miss people back home, and I want to just continue to grow my gym, right? I'm also seeing that how important the kids program as well, because as we were talking earlier, Professor, you were like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was the one gym that could actually stay running with just adults, because it was just catered to adults. When you look at all the karate and taekwondo and this and that, it's all kids-based, keeping gyms open. What we've seen is now it's not just the adults in these Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms, but also the children, and the mass amount of children, right, that are doing this sport now, or this art, should I say. Now, what advice do you give to, one, gym owners and instructors when it comes to the children's program? And what advice do you give to listeners today that don't have their kids in jiu-jitsu yet? I know it's two big questions, but this is kind of the last two questions of the day.
Mm-hmm.
One, advice to gym owners, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And two, advice to parents that don't have their kids in jiu-jitsu yet.
Well, gym owners, my advice for you guys is on the beginning, do not overwhelm the kid. Make fun. Let the kid come in. Let the kid be comfortable to wearing a gi. Grandmaster Helio Gracie used to tell me that his main objective with kids is to make sure the kids like the smell of the gi. That was his advice. If the kid likes the smell of the gi, he's susceptible to continue. So the smell of the gi.
Wow.
That was the idea.
Never heard that.
Yeah.
That's
If you
very
smell
smart.
the gi and you still like it and you continue to like it, that means you already put on the kid, right in the root of the kid. Hey, you can start training, you can start coming. And on the beginning, don't force it. Just make it easy. Make simple. Now we're doing something in the association, Kyle, I advise everybody else to kind of do this. That came from Scott Smith from Kentucky. That's one of the greatest guy there that teach a beautiful class, beautiful school, has incredible guys. That's what Adam Miller trains, right?
I
And
just
there's
visited
tons
him,
of
spent
guys
time
there,
with Adam. Yeah.
best guys. So you know what he does for everybody? So every single person who arrive in the school, brand new guy, never trained before, he put a little red tape on the belt, and for 10 classes, he doesn't let the guy spar. You are not allowed to spar. Not just allowed to spar.
Wow.
Nobody in the school is allowed to go there. Hey, come here. Let's go through a little training. No. This guy is a no zone for sparring. He's a fresh, brand new guy. He needs to learn moves first. He needs to calm down first. So those 10 hours, it is some kind of gauge where you see, oh, let's just do moves. You're going to learn just moves. After 10 hours, 10 classes, you take the red tape off and you put a yellow tape. Now you can do specific sparring. Let's try just escape from the mount position.
Got it.
Just try to protect from the back. Just try to protect yourself from the guard. Just try to pass my guard. Soon you pass, go back again, start over again. Just specific moves. And after that, you take it off and you start the first stripe, second stripe, third stripe. Now you're already comfortable. You can start training, you can start rolling, you can start doing more jiu-jitsu. This is my advice for everybody. And the second question, if you have a kid that you have not put in jiu-jitsu yet, do not waste your time, because all the parents are putting the kids in jiu-jitsu, and you don't want to see your kid behind. You want your kid to be there. Remember, you're giving your kid superpower to succeed in life. You are providing your kid a tool of understanding, of leverage, that this kid is going to pair up with other kid bigger than him, and he's going to be able to make the guy say uncle. He's going to be able to, so size is going to be something he's going to be equalized on in his life. He's never going to look a human being again, and he's going to look, oh, this guy is too big, this guy is too strong, oh, this guy looks mean, no, he's going to equalize everybody. And when I mean equalize, is that you don't feel yourself better than nobody else, but you're not worse than either. You just put yourself equal to everybody. And that's the respect that we built in the association. I try to pass this to everybody. If myself, after 50 years training jiu-jitsu, I'm still learning, what about you that's been training jiu-jitsu for 10, 15, 20 years? You still already done learning everything? And I merged myself in jiu-jitsu for, when I started doing jiu-jitsu, I used to put 6 hours a day on the mat. And after 15 years doing that, I was putting 10 hours a day, every day. So I'm not a slacker. I was on the mat every day for 10 hours.
Wow.
And if I'm still learning, so that means, hey, everybody can still learn. Everybody still. So when you put to this kind of position, you don't walk in the gym like, you're the tough guy, you're the best guy. You walk in the gym very humble. You talk to everybody. You shake everybody's hands. You look everybody in the eyes. You treat the females with the ultimate respect. And after that, you do your warm-up. You do that. When you train, you perform the same way. You make everybody say uncle, but with the ultimate respect. You don't squeeze people on the jaw. You don't elbow the guy in the nose. You don't have to say sorry to people because you're gentle. When you learn jiu-jitsu, you don't have to say sorry. If you don't know jiu-jitsu, you are all the time, oh man, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry,
That's
but
true.
I didn't mean to hit you.
Well, you even said, last thing I want to mention is that just makes me think of even when we did the black belt, we had all these 73 black belts on the mat with you, and you said when we were grappling, you couldn't hear a sound because it was so smooth. It's not all over the place. Blah 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 blah. Smacks. That's what you're talking about.
Nothing.
Professor, I'm gonna ask 3 fast questions to end this off before we pray out of here.
Okay.
All right. 1. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color, Man, I don't have a favorite color.
You have to choose
I
one.
want to say blue.
Blue. All right. What is your favorite food? You get one meal, your last meal before you die. What is it? What is the final meal?
I'll eat a picanha.
Oh, that's oh yes. Producer Doug made some the other day, and I just was like,
Picanha, very good.
And then, aside from where you're living, and you can't choose Brazil either, name one other place to visit for vacation right now. Name one place to visit for vacation that you would love to go to, that you've been to before, that you love.
So many places. You know, I've been in so many places. I got to be honest. Australia, it is the nicest people you're going to find, greatest people in Australia. Hawaii, unbelievable people. Asia, you know, South Korea.
He's gonna start naming them all. He's been to them all. Man, he doesn't want to.
Thailand have Morgan Perkins over there. One of my students was a little kid. Now he's over there running an incredible school.
Beautiful.
Fight lab in Thailand.
Awesome.
And he was a little kid whose mom brought him. So that's what jiu-jitsu does. Look at that. The guy now is in Thailand, married, 2 kids.
Living the life.
Living the life. We all do that. We have so many people who done this, man. Everybody who stick around, and if you think about the life, what the life done, everybody who stuck around, I see life progress. You know, anybody who kind of stop and you know, I never criticize people. I always try to see the best in people, no matter what. But I believe that if you stay on course and you continue this path, man, you can grow older so much easier. It's so much easier for on your lifestyle. It's easy for you to grow older, because when you get older, we get fragile. You know, you lost your balance, you lost your muscle, and if you have jiu-jitsu, you understand leverage. So even to open something, or if you want to open, you always think about leverage. If I want to use a tool, I gotta use a leverage. If I want to drive a car, I gotta think about leverage. If I want to drift a car. Everything is based on jiu-jitsu methodology.
It really is.
Allowed you to be a smart man. Jiu-jitsu brings the best of people, and unfortunately, bring the worst of people too. Depend who is your instructor.
Very important. That's why we stick with, you know, Professor Pedro Sauer Association, right?
Well, we have a good group of guys.
Yeah, you're being humble.
I have not seen nobody close the door for a black belt from Pedro Sauer School.
Man.
You can walk in any gym on the planet. Hey, I'm a Pedro Sauer black belt, or I train a Pedro Sauer. People's going to allow you to come.
Absolutely.
Because I do the same. I welcome everybody.
If you're listening in, you're from another state, hey, you guys already know. You're welcome to MMA and Sport anytime. We'd love to have you come train. Like I told you, Professor, I just traveled to 31 states and got to meet so many trained with got to grapple with thousands of new people, man.
That is awesome.
My level just went to a whole other, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. And there's all the schools just said, absolutely, we'd love for you to train here. They weren't asking for nothing. Hey,
nobody told you cannot come here. Huh?
Oh, you're a pro fighter. Oh, you're with Professor Sauer. Oh, you got a gym. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's how the community is, and that's what I love. Professor, thank you for making time today. I know you have another seminar to get to.
My pleasure.
And but just for you to come, just share your wisdom, to share your knowledge with so many of us. And I told you, people just ate up this last podcast we did because they just want to hear from you, man. Someone who's been in the game, like you said, and just has so much respect and credibility. There's not another Professor Sauer. And that's one thing that, you know, when I was telling people on the travels to all the different associations I went to, it was always like, oh man, we love Professor Sauer. We're not in association, but I saw him here, or I saw him there, or I got to meet him there. He was awesome. Or I saw his technique online. It's only great things. I haven't heard one bad thing yet. So we're going to pray out here at the Sefcik Show. Then, Professor, we're going to do a couple pictures, get those up in a second. But Professor's got another seminar to run to, so we're going to pray out right now. Lord, just thank you for an awesome podcast here today with Professor. Thank you for guiding the talk today, and just all the stuff that we took from today to just make ourselves better. And we just pray over the audience before we get out of here that, you know, the things that they're struggling with or looking for answers on right now, that you just give them those answers and help them where they need them and their family. In Jesus' name, amen. We'll see you next time on the Sefcik Show. Thank you for tuning in. We are live literally every time we're on. We're live on all these channels. If you're watching it right now, then you know what channel we're on that you can watch it on. But we're also on audio. We're going to get this up right after each show. It goes on audio on literally like 30-something other platforms, Google, Apple, Spotify. The list goes on. So check us out. And